Welcome back, everyone, to Lore of the Shadow, where I have arrived here at Almond Head, where I've been asked to take a look around to find out what the orcs may be up to in the area. Ah, there are the stairs right over there. Let's head on up, find the Seat of Seeing, and I hope that I have better luck with it than Frodo did in that vision we had. There you go. I am sure that the Uruks and Orcs are going to be very uncooperative to our venture here. And this place is lousy with them, that's for sure. There you go. Yep, they're everywhere. Oh, wait. I almost missed this person.
Psst. Yes, you there.
Nah, don't look.
Look at me.
These orcs are dim-witted, but even they will notice if they see you speaking into the air. I have many skills of the finest burglars, but I can't make myself entirely invisible. I am skilled, but not as skilled as that. Ooh. Ah, my friend's drafty Broadshield has gotten himself captured by the orcs here in this hill. They have him in a cage a little further up, and I'm stealthy keeping an eye on them by hiding in plain sight. They haven't noticed me yet. Go in there, defeat some of the orcs and uruks and Almond Hen, if you are climbing the hill anyway. When it is time to make my move and rescue my friends, it will be a great help to have fewer of the creatures to cut through. I could get in and out sneakily, of course, but Draftley is not the quietest of dwarves. And dwarves don't have the quietest of reputations. All right, fine. I will see what I can do about... Now, these ones that she's talking about? Yes, it is. All right. Just want to make sure that I was in the right area to do this. Smack! One down, 7 to go. I suppose I should climb the hill as I am doing this. Now let's go about. Attack. And do they count all the way up to the top? Well, let's continue since I do have to get to the Seat of Seeing. And that will be the best place to test it. I'm assuming that there are going to be orcs at the Seat of Seeing. Yep, there are definitely orcs here. I wasn't sure whether if my pet had gotten lost or something. All right, so there is the orc camp, it looks like. But here is the top of the hill. Okay, we got you up here. Whoops-a-daisy. That's 1 down. Or actually, that is 5 down. All right. Oh, this is orc camps on top of orc camps. I forget how many steps there are, especially since I only saw it in a vision anyway, so... Sometimes the details get lost when it's images doing the running instead of yourself. And your turn. Okay, I met my quota at least. I hope that's a good enough distraction. Now, where's the big chair? Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, hello. You saved me the trouble. I almost instigated combat with somebody else before you brought my attention to you. Most appreciative. To have some guidance as to the proper target. Alright. Ooh. I sense scholar mats in the area. I also sense a chair. Am I supposed to sit in the chair? No, I guess I'm just supposed to take a look. Look across at Amen Law. That's that over here. You sense distant fires and camps of the orcs in Amen Law. A great force gathers there. And what about on the other? Looks like ruins of a city on top of that hill. Oh, that's right. I guess that's. Oh, maybe that's Amen Hall. That's right. Those are the camps in Amen Head. Boy, I was able to sense all that. Amazing. I think that should confuse them enough.
I know you defeated orcs on Almond Hen. You were loud enough.
Well, I thought that was my job to be loud enough for you to know. Yes, you were loud enough to tell anyone nearby what you were doing. Oh, that's fine, though. I'm glad that you were so loud, for it led me to sneak around some more. You were the perfect distraction that I like in a lore master. Okay.
Did you see the cage where those orcs are keeping Draftley imprisoned?
You know, I do find it interesting, though, is what do they say to burglars? Because I think that line wouldn't quite work well with a burglar. I'm not too sure I've ever. I don't think I've done this quest on a burglar. That'd be interesting to go in there. Does she say you were loud enough, or does she say something else? Oh, did you see the cages where those orcs were keeping Draftley? It is further up the hill. Just follow the cliff walls south and east of this position until you see an orc camp. You can follow the large spiked posts, like those two over there, until you find it. They lead right into the camp. I have something that I want you to give to Daphne. Madal removes a small wooden figurine from the recesses of her clothing and presents it to you. It is a carving of a heroic figure holding aloft a sword in one hand, wearing a round shield in the other arm. Hand this to him through the bars and speak these words to him. Get it back, and you will never know fear again. He will understand the message. Repeat it back to me so that you know the words just as I told you, all right? Get it back, and you will never know fear again. Very good, Pine Lore. The figurine and the message will help Draftley through his imprisonment. I am sure of it. Okay. Just what we needed. Words of encouragement from the burglar. Well, back up the hill. Actually, the spikes go this way, in the opposite direction that I was thinking. Oh, well. Because she did say spikes, right? So that's more of a southwest than a southeast. Ah, okay, it curves this way. I guess he means these spikes. Alright, well, let this Uruk pay for being in the way of my spike-laden path. Oh, maybe he means up there. Yeah. Alright, she did say part way up the hill and not all the way up. Not exactly the direction I went before. Alright, and no. I guess into this area. Ah, look at that. Now that's a campsite. Now let's see, what do we want to do? Let's bring them out. Smack crackle, pop. Now, I guess, look at that. There's a dwarf back there. I think that's exactly what we wanted. There you go. And we'll see what they were trying to do and trying to capture a dwarf. Probably some old complaint relating to Moria. There you go. Hello.
Are you here to get me out of this cage? No? Then what good are you?
Drafty's annoyed expression changes into one of puzzled confusion when you pass him the wooden figure that Mito asked you to give him, and you speak the message that you gave. He looks at you in silence, then down at the figure in his hand, and back at you. What in the name of Durin the Deathless am I supposed to do with this? And what is Mito talking about? I have to get it back? Get what back? 8. I think there may have been 2 of these wooden figures. Mito wants you to come back with the other one, I suppose, right? Maybe she's waiting to spring me from this cage until she has the other carving back. That is probably it. She is a strange one. I've never understood burglars. Slay orcs on this hill until you find the figure's companion. Bring it back to me when you do. I am ready to be out of this cage. Okay. This mission is getting weirder and weirder. I mean, really. Well then, let us... It says defeat orcs. Do orcs count? Yes, they do count. I would have been really, really disappointed if orcs didn't count for this quest. Especially considering there are so many more orcs than regular orcs up here. So, bap. I suspect that this is not a good place to slip and fall. Not in the least. Ooh. Let's see. How can I best do this without bringing an entire army at my feet? Hey! Nice pull! You're starting to think that there is no other figurine. Oh, really? What could possibly give me a clue like that? Well, alright, I'll get back to the dwarf, but there are more important things that first must be considered. None of the orcs had any such figurine.
What? No sign of the other wooden figurine?
What was Mito talking about then? This is horrible. Cut my beard and call me an elf. I'll never get out of this cage. Excuse me, but there apparently is an Uruk here that wants to die. Okay, what were you saying? Daphne is now more dejected than he was before. He looks at the figurine that you still hold, and his heroic pose seems to sink him further into despair. Look at that little hero, Pinelore. He would not let himself be put into this situation. Oh, it's useless. Go back and tell my doll we were not able to get back her other figurine, and I'm going to stay in this cage forever. All right? I'll speak to her. He said that we couldn't find the other figurine.
Some captain I turned out to be.
What? Oh, that is not what I wanted at all. No, Pinelore. He was supposed to look at the heroic figure and remember how important he is to our companions. He was supposed to reminded of his own heroic deeds. I just wanted him to gain back his confidence. Some captain I turned out to be. I can't inspire people the way that Hestel does, or even the way that warden of Minas Ithil seems to be able to inspire folk. Oh yes, I'm a captain at heart. I only began to study the arts of burglary recently, but sadly, it seems that I'm better suited for being a burglar than a captain. Thank you for trying, Pinelore. Perhaps I'll redeem myself when we are finally able to free Draftley. I guess this is enough for now. Oh, let's see. Oh, we've got this really nice bracelet. That's what we got. Alright, that person was helped, and I need to get back to Ramdir, right? I have finished my investigation.
It is as I feared then. There are more orcs on Amon Law.
There are more orcs to reinforce the creatures that have already crossed the river. We cannot stay here. I need to convince Estel that she and her friends need to move again. Well, first we need to rescue a certain dwarf.
I have a request. I want to see the Argonaut.
And before I prevail upon Hestel to get our band of adventurers moving, I have a request, because I want to see the Argonaut. The pillars of the king stand in the cliffs north of here. Yes, I've been there already. It would mean a great deal to me to see them. I will meet you in their shadow, Pinelore, and we will speak again. All right, I will meet you there, and I could report to Corridon while there. Now, I've got these two over here. Did I miss something? Oh, Kirfin.
My name is Kufaron, and I am a hunter of great skill. Ask anyone.
I will not regale you with the tales of so many accomplishments, but if you're not careful, I fear that my companions might. Isterin was always very impressed with my stories of the lands of west to the distant east. Great beasts and dangerous birds can be found there, and I have hunted them all. Roldwin might speak of my prowess in the Southlands. Do you know of these mighty four-legged monstrosities, the great Mumakil? Girlfriend quickly shakes his head as you ask if he's hunted one of those. Nay, not as such, but I saw one in the distance. But still, you have not seen one, have you? Okay, I'm not to that part of the story yet, so I guess I'll have to admit that I haven't. Anyway, there are a lot of vile dogs around the east wall, and I do not think that they are creatures of nature. The Rohirrim call them swerthounds, and they seem to be quite evil. You should hunt them down, as I plan to do. I think that they should cause trouble for us if they get too near to our camp. Alright, so I need to defeat swerthounds throughout the east wall. I guess I can do that. And here's another one I missed. A reunion.
Shortly after we arrived in the East Wall, I lost my prized sword to the orcs.
Yes, there were perhaps a dozen of those orcs around, and though I gave them better than I got, they were simply too many. My greatest shame is not that I retreated, Pinelore, but that I lost my sword as I did so. I have borrowed this old thing from Hestel, but it is not as good as a sword as my own, a high-quality blade from Gondor. It's probably in the hands of some orc by now. If you could find it and return it to me, I should be indebted to you. I don't even know where to begin the search, Pinelore. There are so many orcs throughout the east wall. It could be any of them, if the orc that took it is even remains in this land. I think the best place to start is in MAGIX camp. Hello there. I've ran into a Gondorian captain who I believe is the owner of that sword we saw earlier.
You say you have found the owner of the blade. How do you know?
Well, I suppose the blade does belong to her. She doesn't sound like much of a champion, if you ask my opinion. One of the Rohirrim would rather die than leave her blade behind. Very well. I'll bring that to Rodwin when I get back to that camp. But first, I think I need to go to the Argonaut to speak with the warden. Ah, look at here. A Swarthound. Well, I am sure that we could take down a couple of these. And we will show that hunter what we're about. Of course, if we kneel with a few orcs along the way, I'm sure no one will complain, except the orcs. Well, that's 100 down, probably another 200 to go. There they are, the Pillars of the Kings. We are rather close to get a good view, unless you intend to crane your neck or lie on the ground.
Behold, the Pillars of the Kings. I wish I could explain to you what this means to me.
Anarion, Isildur, it is overwhelming. The wardens of Minas Ithil have long fought in the memory of the Tower of the Moon, though it has been lost to the enemy for so many years. It is called Minas Morgul now, and those of us who remember what it once stood for are few. Many of my fellows abandoned the cause, because it seemed impossible to go on. They said that we are toiled for naught. Would they think so if they could stand where I stand now and gaze upon the likenesses of Isildur and Anarion? They are a reminder, Pinelore, of the works that men will last, that the spirit of man cannot be crushed despite the adversity and the passage of time. Even the orcs cannot tear them down, and if they sought to, my heart sings that men would take the pieces and build them anew. Ooh. Alright, well, I guess I don't need a shield of any sort, so let's just take the one worth the most. Very well, now that takes care of Ramdir. That means we still have to finish the captain's quest. That is to return the sword. And we can do that after we deal with the local vermin. Hey, that was sneaky of you. Right. Now, let's get back to Coroneer. Oh, Coroneer, I'm back with my findings, and I brought a new companion. I hope you don't mind. I know it can't fly like the eagle does.
It is a sad tale you weave.
The burden that our mutual friends bear caused some amount of discord amongst them, and they were splintered. It seems from the signs that you read that one or more of them repented of the deeds that they sought to repair and divide when the orcs appeared. One halfling stayed clear of the fighting, and it seems another joined him. If they did not cross the river by themselves, I cannot come up with another explanation. The two of them have now left the east wall, heading east. You know the identity of those two, Pinelore. Can it be anyone but the bearer of the great burden and his loyal servant? Only Galadriel can hope to see them now. I am uncertain of the path of the rest of the company, but my own reading of the signs has shown me some of that seems fairly clear. 3 of that company have left for Rohan, on foot. I believe that they pursued the other two halflings of the company.
We should go to Mansig's encampment to speak with Ingild.
Horn and Nona went to the camp Fremik spoke of, led by a Rohirrim man named Mansig. His encampment is located on the border of the east wall of the Norcross. They are going to speak with a man there named Ingild, who claims to have seen something of interest to us. You should speak with one of his men now and see what he knows. I will come as well. All right. Well, as you proceed over there, I'm going to make a quick trip over to a certain captain. Is this your sword by any chance?
You found my sword.
Thank you, Pine Lore. It's good to hold it once again. Oh, where did you find it? Uh-huh. Was it shameful to leave my sword behind? Perhaps. But if everyone acted as this Rohirrim man insists that he do, there would be fewer Rohirrim in the land, that is for certain. There is honor in staying alive, Pine Lore. A noble death may lead to multiples of songs, but a hasty retreat may lead to more dead orcs. Your Rohirrim friend might do well to remember this. Thank you for buying my sword. Now she and I have work to do. Yes, you do. So what is left? Oh yes, I need to kill more sword hounds, and I guess I have to get to that. That will be in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.